A JetBlue airliner high over the middle of the country today was interrupted when the captain began ranting incoherently and was locked out of the cockpit by the co-pilot. The New York to Las Vegas flight made an emergency landing at Amarillo, Texas. Bob Orr has been talking to his sources at the FAA and in law enforcement, and he's pieced together what happened.
JetBlue 191 was 3.5 hours into its flight with 135 passengers on board when the incident began. A passenger who asked not to be identified said the captain of the plane left the cockpit and began walking through the cabin asking random questions.
He stopped, actually talked to the guy right next to me, and he put his arm on him and he said, "Are you okay?" And the guy was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And he's like, "Are you sure you're okay?" And the guy's like, "I'm sure I'm fine." It was just really weird.
Suddenly, the captain bolted towards the front of the plane. The co-pilot, alarmed by the captain's odd behavior, had locked the cockpit door.
He was knocking on the cockpit, trying to get in, screaming, "Let me in." Very quickly, maybe 6 or 8 big New Yorkers just basically pinned him to the ground.
David Gonzalez was one of the tacklers.
But once I got involved and I was able to get him down, it was a team effort. Everybody came in and we were able to apprehend them. There was a guy that was able to calm people down, so it looked very professional.
An off-duty JetBlue pilot, flying as a passenger, then went to the cockpit to help the co-pilot. They radioed air traffic controllers with an emergency.
Amarillo, JetBlue 191, emergency. JetBlue 191, Amarillo, approach, discretion.
3 minutes later, as the flight diverted to Amarillo, Texas, the co-pilot asked for help on the ground.
And we're going to need authorities and medical to meet us at the airplane.
You have the airport police standby.
The jetliner landed safely. The captain, restrained with his hands behind his back, was taken out on a yellow cart and transported to a nearby medical facility for an evaluation. Some passengers say the captain muttered about Al-Qaeda and yelled about having a bomb. But law enforcement sources say there is no evidence terrorism played any role.
It was the co-pilot today who first noticed the captain's odd behavior. Sources tell us he had tricked the captain into leaving the cockpit and then locked the door behind him. Sources describe the captain as a veteran pilot who is well respected by his peers, but tonight investigators are reviewing the captain's flight history, his training, and his medical records to see if any warning signs have been missed.
Thank you, Bob.